All righty. Well, welcome to this next episode of Your Music, Your Story. Today we're talking with the Flying Cruisers. How's it going?
How's it
Hey,
going, Jeff?
thanks for
Peachy.
having us.
Thanks for joining me. So you guys, we were talking earlier. So you guys are recording, or you're just that's where you practice, where you're at right now.
Both.
Oh, you doing
So-
both?
Yeah, this is our studio, another room in our house. This is where also we record, rehearse, kind of try to do everything. DIY it.
Nice. I like it. I hear you. That's what this whole room is. All DIY. I don't know what I'm doing, but I just like throwing stuff together.
I just love all those little foam panels you got around the drums because I mess around with some home recording too. And I just have some dinky little pads. And then the difference it made with that, like, already blew me away. And then with the ones that we have right now, it's so dead in such a good way.
So my issue is, I mean, they're good right there in the corner, but the room is so small. It's so bad. So it works
Oh no.
there, but then everything up here. So I've got them up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I got Legos on the wall too. I pretend like that has acoustic stuff.
I'm sure it does. It's like those block
yeah.
algorithm things. The Legos, same thing.
Yeah, it's bouncing wave files or some dumb thing, nonsense. So who all do we got in the band? Or who all is in the band, I should say. Sorry.
Okay, so we're a four-piece. Anna's not here, obviously. She can pretend she's here, I guess.
She's on her way.
She's on her way. So I'm the bassist. My name is Carlos.
I'm Morgan. I'm the drummer.
Hello, I am Justin. I'm the guitarist, usually lead guitar. And then Anna, the one that's not here yet, she is our singer and also guitarist.
Okay. So you guys do I read one of the articles, there was a review. It was like Tom review. I think it was on your link tree, I think it was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think it was Tom. Maybe I'm making that up. I don't know. So they talked about your sound is kind of just a mesh, blurring the lines between a lot of blues and a lot of rock and a bunch of different styles. So what would you guys consider your style to be?
That is like the hardest question we get all the time.
Oh yeah.
And right now, and I mean like right now, it's hard rock. Can we agree on that? Can we say
Yeah.
we're more
Yeah.
hard rock?
I think so.
A year ago, we were soft rock. As you can tell, like on our Spotify, other songs that we have, they're more softer, like NPK. How did I fall in love? A lot of softer rock, almost a little poppy. And then all of a sudden, Justin will come, out of the restroom after sitting down in the toilet for maybe like 2 hours and be like, I got a riff idea. And then he comes in and be like, I like it. And then all of a sudden we have a new song. And that's it. The hardest thing is finding out what the style is. Cause
Yeah.
we listen to so much different music that I like how that song sounds, but it's not how we sound, but I like it. Can we do something like that? And, so we're going through like a self-identification crisis right now. I feel like we're going.
This is kind of our midlife crisis. We're trying
there
to
we go.
figure out who and what we are, what we want to be, how much we want to take from certain avenues, just because like you said, we all pull from so many different influences that sometimes it's kind of hard to gel them together in a sonically appeasing way and a radio friendly way, because we're not trying to do any crazy Tool push the boundaries of music itself. No, we're just trying to really find out where we fit in the niche.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I like it. I mean, that's one of the issues that I typically have with bands just in general. I mean, I like punk, don't get me wrong, but I like blues. I don't like country. Country sucks, but I like jazz. I like all these other, and you're not getting a punk band to play some rock songs. It ain't going to happen. Same thing with rock. I've played rock and metal. You ain't getting any of them to play any punk at all. So, I mean, I like the different styles of just kind of mixing a little bit things up. I like that.
Yeah, and it works out. It works out. It's fun because it's like we'll have different things. Like I'm going through like a funk phase. I also listen to a lot of like Japanese city pop, and then I'm all into that. You know what I mean? And then it's like all of a sudden they're all into Queens of the Stone Age as like one of their favorite bands. So then they're like, oh, it's like this, or like how the Queens does this with their drunken style. And I'm just like, oh yeah, just like that Japanese metal band, Baby Metal, like that one song, we're like kind of mixing things. And it's the funnest part. You hear this with a lot of bands. and like kind of seeing it of how diverse we are, it's fun because we're trying to make things happen. And when something does settle and we're like, ooh, that sounded good, then that's like that's what makes it all worth it. That whole like there's a lot of struggle and a self-identity, almost like we're going to therapy, like what are we doing? But then when everything settles and then when we play the song live and people are like, that song rocks, we're like, good job guys,
We did a good job.
Therapy's working.
We did it.
Yeah, like sometimes we'll bring ideas to the table or we'll try and jam it out, and then later that night we'll be texting and we'll be like, wait a minute, this is exactly just like this song. One of us will send an idea, and sometimes the rest of us will be like, I've never heard that before. And we're like, oh, so maybe we can try and twist that thing we've never heard into something we are a little more familiar with. So in that way, we can kind of pull different ideas and still try and hone down on what makes us us.
Yeah, or one of my favorite things is when we'll come up with an idea and then we'll finish for the night and then we'll be like, that is fun, but that is never leaving this room, never leaving the side of it.
Yeah, we were messing the other time. I think we were just tired from work, a long day, and we were practicing for already like 2.5 hours. So we were kind of already exhausted mentally, creatively. And then I just started playing like a we call it clown core. So it was like almost like a clown bass line. It was just like bum, bum, bum. And he's playing the drums. And then Justin's reaction is like, oh, that sounded good. I'm like, you realize it sounds like clown music, Justin. But the face he made is like, we discovered something that we're never going to use, but he was so impressed. Like, that goes hard.
Like if Black Sabbath like played the music for the Dumbo movie.
Yeah, like that.
We're gonna have to remember this for another time.
Yeah, we have a recording. You hear Justin go, whoa, in the back. Oh my goodness, we can't stop laughing at that.
We'll try and patch that in right at the end of one of our songs as an Easter egg.
And then people will be like, what was that totally awesome one song?
You mean the clown song? Like, you know we weren't serious about that.
Well, I think I've seen I remember watching, I think it was Nirvana, and Kurt Cobain was talking, and when they came out with Nevermind, and I don't remember what song it was, but there was a couple songs he's like, I thought these were going to be the greatest songs ever. I think it was maybe Nevermind or maybe Come As You Are. He's like, one of the other songs that were super famous out of that album, he's like, those were stupid songs. I didn't even think that was a cool song. Then it turned out to be a good one.
That is probably the hard. I think one of the hardest things is when you're making a song is, will people like it? And you start overthinking it a lot. That's the hardest thing, right? Like, these are dumb songs and people love them. So it's like, do we throw this idea away? Do we work on the idea? I think that's where we're always at. We're always thinking of it, you know? And sometimes it leads to paralysis by analysis. You know what I mean? Because you care. Yeah. We even though this is our hobby and we're not making money off of it, we do this for fun. We still care and try to put all our all into it. And you know, we don't know what will sell and what not. So right now what's selling is hard rock. So, okay, guys, let's write another hard rock song. Let's go for it. But, you know, we'll see where we go too, you know.
We're trying to shift gears a little bit, try and do like a little bit more dancey tune. And then like 2 hours into the jam, it's another hard rock song. Yeah. And you're just like,
why does it keep gravitating to that?
Why do we keep going to this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, my understanding is the last song that you guys recorded was Neck Deep.
Used to be on top of the world, but now I'm neck deep in water. Oh, I'm struggling just to stay afloat. Whoa, whoa, throw me a life preserver, 'cause I'm not as good as your daughter. Oh,
Was that the last one? I
That's
think.
the last one we've posted or like publicly released.
Yeah, that's the last one that has been released officially.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're currently recording and getting everything fixed and mixed right now.
Yeah. We have a handful like under the hood that we're getting ready to drop, that are like recorded or almost recorded. So there's a lot of stuff coming soon. And there is a decent number, like a few songs that we usually play live a lot. So finally getting that available and out there now.
So
Mhm.
are these going to be? Are you going to release them as singles, one at a time? Or are you going to do an album, or what's that going to be?
I think the plan right now, I maybe later we'll do an album. Right now is about a matter of getting the songs out. So
Okay.
we're going to do single, and then while that single's being released and we're doing the promotions for that, then I think Anna just arrived.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. The next song that we're doing is that's in the works. It's being we send it to our producer and mixer, so he's working on that. And so while we're working on so the next song that we're releasing is this month. What is it? 25th of August, I believe.
Yeah.
Is that next week?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dang, that quick. So we're just gonna drop it. I think that's the idea. It's just gonna drop it because and have it go. Next song is being in the works. Have that song drop. Next song is being through the whole rotation, so that we're gonna spread it out. The album, in my opinion, is like I like concept albums, so I think in my head, like if we do an album, we should piece it together, make it kind of a wholesome thing together.
Mhm.
But right now, the strategy is just to drop it. We're just gonna drop it. We're just gonna say, hey, here's Two-Face. Here's the new song that you got. Well, not new song, new recording of the song because we play the song live all the time. Here it is. You go enjoy it. Here you go. That's pretty much the strategy for right now.
Well, that sounds like fun. How's it going?
Hi.
Straight from the hospital.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, now I forgot what question I was going to ask, but okay, we'll move. How many songs, or how often are you going to release the songs when they start coming out?
I mean, right now I think we're working at the pace of our mixer. So we have one guy that we really like a lot, and he's also based in New York, but I mean, he's busy too, so we're kind of just feeding him songs as soon as he's ready and then kind of planning it around him because we really like working with him. So kind of trying to play balance with that.
So how does that work? So you guys record everything in your little studio, and then you send him all the files, and then he mixes them. Like I'm assuming that's how that works.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
And if it really needs it, like we'll have a sort of little conference call with him, like we had a couple months ago, just kind of lay out some of the songs that he can expect to receive. Just because we pretty much almost recorded everything, we can just say, hey, this one's going to be a little harder, this one's going to be a little softer. Just here's what to kind of expect, and we'll get you those as soon as possible.
Yeah, or even just like what the vibes are going for, or like what's your opinion on this? What does it need? What should we cut? That's a really big reason why we send our songs out. We want someone else that's not us to hear what we've made, to try to get that almost objective, like, far away,
Literally, physically, like all the way on the other side of the East Coast in New York. Yeah.
Different perspective. We want those new ideas. If that makes sense.
So how long have you been working with him?
At least a year.
Yeah, I mean, he's helped us with Neck Deep.
My Town.
He's helped us with My Town, and now he's going to help us with Two-Face, and then the song after that is going to be Perfectly Insecure. So Nick has been helping us out longer than a year, I would assume. Like we've we've also, it's almost like when we recorded the other songs and he heard Open Up the Door. So he heard that song from our Spotify and then hit us up and said, hey, would you want to rework it? I have some ideas. So we were like, oh, a guy likes our song that has an ear for music.
Oh, wow.
We were like, from the East Coast, how? We were like, we were very
we were all ears.
Yeah, we were all ears, and we were flattered that Nick hit us up. But we said, hey, Nick, we have other songs that we might want to do more. These songs were here because we needed to get something out for Spotify. A lot of the places that we were playing at, they're like, hey, how does your sound? How does this? They asked for all these things. And so we're like, okay, let's record these songs because these are the songs the band already wrote with, on and everything before I joined, and said, okay, we need material. Let's work on it. This is good stuff. And then so when Nick contacted us, we're like, let's work on these next ones. Let's do on these new ones. We're going through a new phase of the Flying Cruisers. Just like the Marvel Cinematic Universe with different phases. We're planning things in different phases for us. The FCU.
This is your version of the MCU.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But like, hopefully it stays good instead of the MCU staying bad or going bad. So
Did it, a-holes.
Shots fired.
So is that really how you guys basically got in contact with him? Is he had heard your open the door and then he reached you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he said he'd kind of give us a free trial, sort of, if you call it that, hey, I have some ideas on how to improve it. And then it just kind of, the relationship grew from there. We liked his end product a lot. And we also just really liked him as a person.
Yep.
He's just a great guy, laid back. He likes similar music to us. He gets, our vibe, our sounds, and he gives us something that's super polished and that we're really proud of.
Nice. Just out of an audio perspective, when you guys send him the files, all you do is record them and then you send them, or do you do any kind of mixing to them or anything like pre-mixing, or you just, okay, we've got the tracks, here you go, and then he takes them?
We give him all of the raw tracks, but usually before that, we'll send him like a rough cut where we'll throw something together just to give him the picture, kind of paint the picture a little bit so that he can kind of see where it's going, and then hopefully not influence him too much. So like the first interaction will be like a rough cut mix. Hey, what do you think? And then he'll give his first impressions, and then we'll just kind of give him like all of the raw files from there. And then he has full creative, technically he has the raw files to do the most that he can with our recordings. And then this studio we built was like, the purpose of it was just to create the highest quality recordings, not necessarily like the greatest mixing, well, maybe soon in the future, but just, like we made it really dry. We want to get the best source material we can. And then send
it helps streamline it. We're trying to think of how to streamline it, how we record songs and everything. It's like, okay, now we have a studio, we can streamline it, send it to Nick, and then from there we start working and doing the whole ping pong with emails and file sharing and all that whatnot.
Well, like he'll give us little tips, like he'll want a tambourine on 2 and 4 during the chorus, or we'll send him back feedback and say, hey, the drums are a little too loud, or some little minute tweaks, just kind of that dialogue back and forth, so we both can sort of hone each other's idea to sort of form a studio version of a song that we've been crafting over the years live.
Yeah, we try to keep it like a conversation almost, not just here's the stuff, okay, give me the mix. Like we work with him because there's back and forth, because there's revisions, because there's opinions and suggestions. So we could send him our song and he would receive it and work on it, but like it might not be done for, I don't know, maybe a few weeks or a month, just because of that back and forth, which is not a bad thing.
And this all happens after the clown core gets fleshed out, after we figure all that stuff out. We don't send the clown core to the East Coast with Nick.
Not yet.
Yeah,
I want that sent to my ears.
We don't want to scare him. Okay, we want to keep that good relationship and not freak him out.
You guys are out, but I don't know what that doo-doo was.
He's just gonna say scene. He's gonna just leave it on red and they're like, yeah, okay. All right.
So anyways, next lead single, right?
So I think you'd answered the question, but let's just say today you finish recording a song and you ship it out to them. It could be anywhere from that time frame from when you're finished recording, you sent them out, and then you get a finished product back. Could be a month or on average, or how long does that take typically?
I would say a month.
Yeah. I think that's a good estimate.
We'll hear a mix and then we do the car test. We listen to everything in the car and be like, okay, sounds pretty bitchin' in the car. And then from there, it's like, you know what would be good if we have Anna just yell in the beginning of the intro or something like that. Like after hearing it in the car for a week and let it simmer, that's when we're like texting each other randomly, like, "Hey, this would be a great idea. How about this? How about this?" So that's why it even takes a little longer, because Nick will send us a one that I would say we can actually release this right now. But then the ideas we have after listening to it, like, but we can make it better. But we're not going to spend too much time also doing that too. So it's just little things that we can add real quick and be like, "Yo, Nick, what do you think of this?" And then he's like, "I'm on it. I'll do it right now. How does this sound?" Like, "Oh, shoot, that was quick." So usually, I guess it depends on the song. The next song, Perfectly Insecure, is the one that I'm thinking like, oh, that might need a lot of layers. Like, and I want to see how it sounds put together. And then maybe then we start talking about ear candy and all these fun things that we can add to the song. So maybe that one might take longer than a month.
So once you guys sent your files, he doesn't mind if you're like, "Hey, we want, another guitar solo or a second track on the guitar." He doesn't mind you now sending more files to him to mix in. Like, he doesn't have a problem with that, huh?
Not at all, which is great. Which is great.
He's really helping us to form the best product possible.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, but I mean, it, don't take it the other way, the extreme, like 6 months or something. Like, well, within reason, he's very flexible.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's good to get an engineer like that. That'll just willing, because some of them are they're kind of, I don't know, engineers are kind of nerds. And not in a good way, kind of.
This guy right here. This guy right here. This guy right here.
Okay.
He's the one that does all the recording and everything like that. That's why I pointed him. So anything recording wise or file send, that's all Justin. That's literally all him. Like,
he's the one that'll tell me my room mic is doo-doo or whatever.
Yeah, he's the one that set all this up. He's our techie guy. This guy's the
nerd.
The nerd in a good way, in a loving way.
Yeah. And that we care about you. Hey, we won't.
You're a nerd, but you're our nerd, Justin.
Everyone needs a nerd.
Yeah. I just like to hide it because I don't like getting judged.
We won't judge you. Maybe a little bit. So how long have you guys been a band for?
You know what, Anna? I'll let you explain that, because you were like the founder of this whole thing.
You're the
Our
lore
founder.
keeper.
The lore keeper.
The lore keeper.
We need the origin story.
Oh,
Real
well, I guess in 2015, I think I was like a freshman in high school, and I wanted to make a band. And then we had a drummer, but then I saw Morgan play drums in class, and I was like, "Oh shit, he's good." So then we had 2 drummers, and then we kicked out the other drummer because he wasn't that good. And then eventually Morgan's brother Justin joined, and then we got Carlos in like 2019.
Yeah.
Wait, we have brothers in the band?
Yeah. Justin and Morgan are brothers, not twins.
No.
And they get their names mixed up. Yeah. I'm just glad that he wears glasses most of the time, because in the beginning, I really had trouble telling them apart. And they're like, how do you know? I'm like, I don't know. I was getting them mixed up. When I saw them on Instagram, I first contacted them about, like, because they were looking for a bassist, I was like, this one is like, is that Justin? I'm holding the phone next to him, but he's not wearing his glasses in the picture, and I'm lost. So, like,
you couldn't tell that I was the one holding the right-handed drumstick in my right hand.
We had a date at Chick-fil-A to see if I fit.
Yeah, and then he was holding his phone up to ID us during the date.
I'm there at Chick-fil-A, like, which one's which? Which one's who? Like,
did you have those awkward moments? Hey, Buckaroo.
Yeah, we were like,
hey, buddy.
So you like jazz?
Yeah, Mustang. More Jordan. Yeah.
That cracks me up. So you talked about starting the band when you were in high school. On the song, I think it was the Stalker song. I think was that video from. They looked like it was at a high school, presumably. I don't know.
Yeah, that was filmed at Poly High School.
Many moons ago.
We don't talk about that video.
If you can't tell, she's blushing right now.
I got to chuckle
for the
out.
listeners.
It's cringe.
Listeners. But we
don't listen to Stalker song. It needs to be archived.
we don't that was like pre-phase 1, I was gonna say, of the FCU.
That's not in the Dewey Decimal System of our library right now.
Yeah, that's like, I think the Stalker song
That's
is
the Ant-Man of the
not
universe.
even not even yet. That's like,
oh no,
that's like
Oh wait, what's that movie? Morbius?
no, not even Morbius. That's like a Project Gone Wrong. I'm trying to think like an early Marvel movie.
Morbius is Clown Core.
Like the first Hulk,
the early 2000s, like Daredevil.
There you go. Yeah. That's the Stalker song is the Daredevil, where it's just like
technically it's canon, but
okay, Stalker song is the Star Wars Christmas special.
It's
all you nerds out there.
It's the Edward Norton Hulk.
It's bad. Yes,
Yeah.
it's that one.
Before Mark Ruffalo came in and the universe got together.
The whole point, again, recording that one was, hey, people are asking, why don't we have a Spotify? It was very hard when we first started as a band to get like a gig anywhere. Everyone's just like, what are your follower count? What's your Spotify? Can we listen to you? So I'm like, what song do you guys have? Like when I joined, I was like, what song do you guys have? Justin's like, oh, we have Stalker's song almost done. And they're like, okay, we're going to do it. Record it, send it out so we can have a Spotify account. And so that song, we like to keep it there because it's like a little like a fossil. It's like a piece of history. You know what I mean? It's like, this is the beginning. And the video is funny because you can go back to it and be like, that them? That looks like entirely different people. You know what I mean? It's like, it's cute. That's the best word I can describe it. It's cute. But when we're like promoting it and people are featuring us and tagging us in like social media, for some reason they choose Stalker song. I'm like, there's Neck Deep, there's My Town, there's MPK, at least the other softer rock. How Did I Fall in Love? But you go for Stalker song. That's why we don't know if we should just shelve that and archive it.
Just because it's so old and it's like that chapter of our life was like of our sound
like,
and our band,
us.
you know,
like this isn't us, you know. But it's just funny. That song it's like a memento, like a little like a memory, like a souvenir, you know.
It's in the scrapbook.
Yeah, it's in the scrapbook.
Funny. So I'm out of the live show playing game, but is that really? No, I don't want to say standard, but is it of how many people, like how many Spotify listens you have? Like
in the beginning, it was like that. It was like, let me hear your sound. Let me see what you have.
How many followers do you have?
They in the Instagram they had in the beginning, they was running, they had one. But again, it was like there wasn't enough, I guess, audio that people were trying to figure out our sound. So even like other bands would be like, hey, we're looking for gigs. We're in the scene now. They're like, well, how do you sound like? We need to know. And all they have is like the old videos that are, did you archive them, Justin? The ones where you're wearing your cargo shorts and, you know, all that stuff in your high socks.
The ones where the mom still bought them the Kohl's outfits.
Yeah, that's the stuff you got from Kohl's where you're playing. Mostly those videos were covers. So that's, you know, it's hard to show, hey, this is as an original band, this is what we have when it's a cover. But hey, look, we can play I'm trying to think of a song, Daft Punk's Get Lucky or House of the Rising Sun, but you know, and even then it's like it was like there was a different basis at the time they had, and it's just like old stuff that was supposedly represented. People thought we were that. And it's like, no, it's not even us. And so, but the thing is like now, like since we've been releasing stuff and we've been playing a lot more live shows, they don't really ask that anymore. I don't know if it's because we reached maybe a certain gate that we passed and said, hey, look, no, we have like 1,000 followers. You know what I mean? But in the beginning, it was a little rough trying to find anything. Anything.
And that's where the connections were just super important. The people that we were able to be like, hey, we're not that, I promise, just give us a chance. So then the few buddies that we made along the way really sort of helped us, like introduce us into the scene.
Yeah, the first gig we had together was at Brooks Bar, and that's at the Van Buren Golf Course. I don't know if you know, like Van Buren in Arlington and Riverside.
I know.
It's like by that little airport. Across from it, there's like a golf course, but in there's a little bar. And then I hit that place up and I said, hey, you guys taking bands? I remember a long time ago I saw, hey, there was a couple of bands. Are you guys still doing that? And they're like, yeah, we have actually a slot open for Friday. Can you find 4 other bands in 3 days to do it? And we're like, sure. Yeah. Give us and we did. And that was our first gig together. And I just remember even then we just played a bunch of covers still. All the other bands are playing like original music and we're playing Good Times, Bad Times. and I just can't ride it. Like we're playing like Queen covers, and it's just like, yeah, it was kind of rough because we have a good friend that like a band called Dead Radio. They're good friends of us, and they've always been to us in the beginning. And then we asked them like, "What did you guys think about us in the beginning?" And like, "Oh, we thought you guys were kind of weird because you guys just played like kind of." But you guys are good people. You guys are good people. You guys kind of sucked. I was like,
that's always the insult. What'd you think? Oh, you guys are good people.
yeah. Do you like our songs? You guys were there.
So speaking of covers, you guys had a video. I think I can never remember the name of the song. I just know it's the song that's in Wayne's World that Wayne's girlfriend plays. Something about a blitz, like
Ballroom Blitz.
Yeah, there. Yeah. So was that just a show that you guys happened to be playing? And hey, let's record it. Is that? I know it was outside. It looked like.
Oh, was that a Flaybob? Flaybob? Over here in Harupa Valley, by Mount Rubidoux.
I think
that one airport.
Yeah,
I think I know what you're talking about. Where like it's blue and green. The video. I'm just thinking about there's a small stage and the camera's panning and there's an airplane. Yeah, there you go.
I don't remember that. I just remember it's outside. I think like a freeway behind you or something like at first. I was like,
that's probably the awning.
Yeah. It looked like we're right in front of an overpass.
Yeah, that's what. Well, I just like at first I thought it was a video, and then this old dude walked in front of it. I'm like, oh, I got a video.
That was Carl. That's on his dad, I think. That walks straight in front.
Well, there goes
Oh,
that.
I don't know. It could be my boy Bill, their
I
dad.
think it's Carl. I think it's my boy Carl. But that one was because it was like an IE account, like we feature things in IE, and it's like an Instagram account that just goes to like little festivals, food truck things, little events, and kind of records it. And so he tagged us, and I said, "Hey, can I have that? Can I have that video?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure," and sent us the video. And then we're like, "Oh, cool, we got a post."
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the guy was super cool.
So on the audio from that video, that's just whatever the audio from the camera, or was he attached into the sound system?
No,
No,
just the camera.
That was the camera. Whatever he was using, whether it was had like a mic prop. I know he had a gimbal. I don't know what he was using, but yeah, that's straight from the camera.
No, I was going to say, because the audio, I mean, it wasn't the greatest for it, like if it was coming from a sound system, but it was a whole lot better than what seemed like a phone or a camera or something like that.
Yeah,
So-
like a potato camera where it just sounds all like blurry and pixelated. The audio sounds pixelated. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So where all do you guys play? Do you have certain places you like to play, or is just it really doesn't matter? You'll just go, you play wherever.
Well, we're based in Riverside, so the Riverside gigs are an easier yes to us. But we've also played in Pomona, Orange County, LA. We've done quite a few in Pomona now. So that one feels a little like home, or just that one's a familiar
A
spot.
familiar spot for definitely, especially when we stand outside and people pass by. It's in downtown Pomona, and they're like, "You're the Flying Cruisers, right?" And we're like, "Oh, yes." Are you gonna come and watch our show? And they're like, yeah, we saw you guys the other time here. We're like, oh, yeah,
I'm so
That-
dude.
that felt cool. I felt cool for once.
Or like 1 minute in the spotlight.
Yeah, that was better than me getting married and my wedding day. Felt
Oh my
great.
god.
Totally awesome. Totally awesome.
Founders of the Cruiser Fan Club.
Yeah, you got the super fans that follow you around a lot.
I wish. It's
Yeah.
more only weird stalkers that are kind of like trying to hit on Anna all the time. So I guess they're super fan. I don't know. I'll take it. Anna won't, but again, I don't know. I'm not the one being creeped out on.
That's why we have songs like Soccer Song to chase them off. But archive it.
Yeah.
They don't see it, but yeah, that's about them.
Yeah.
I think in every band I've ever played in, there's always been one person that you just, man, where you even come from? I didn't even know you were here. For some reason, they just find out wherever you're playing.
They're also plastered all the time too. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
They're always kooky. But oh well. So what's coming up next for you guys? Other than you guys got some songs that you guys are working on to release. What else you guys got going on?
So we have a song next Friday, Two Face. I know there's a September gig, like September
September 10th.
10th. We have that one locked down in Redlands.
Veterans Day.
We have Veterans Day. Trying to think of all the things we have on the schedule so far. But I mean, I'm sure we're probably going to start filling in the gaps in between too. And so we update our Instagram with the gig dates as well. But I think those are the two bigger ones on our radar coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of it life is making things kind of slow down, with again, this is just for fun. We do this for fun, right?
Yeah.
So, we if something's happening within our lives, we still take time. We understand, like, yeah, don't worry about it. We'll work on recording. We'll work on finding more gigs later. Now that life's a little hectic, so we're kind of like ensuring that, hey, we're going to play. It's going to be a place that's going to make it, well worth our time.
Yeah, we don't say yes to every gig.
Yeah,
anymore.
it's becoming harder to say yes to every gig. We might, maybe once we start getting things kind of sorted out a little bit, maybe then we can start ramping up again. But right now we're like in this little lull period. We're like, okay, let's maybe focus on recording a little more because we have time for that, obviously. Shows and stuff like that. If they come and invite us, yeah, we'll say yes if we're available. But right now it's just a little tight within our schedules right now.
Okay. So with that schedule, like how often do you guys practice and how often do you guys try to play shows? Do you still try to play like once a month or once a week or what's that like?
It's so far it's been, what would you say, once a month,
At
Probably.
least.
right?
Yeah.
That's usually the target, sort of, and
Mhm.
then try to practice once a week.
Regardless if we have a show or
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We practice once a week, but we're always chatting with each other in a group chat, sending each other like ideas, hums, whistles, bass lines, guitar things, just like any voice memo that we can send to each other just for ideas. So the next Thursday, the next Wednesday we practice. It's like, okay, remember that one thing I hummed and went, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, can we play that? So we try to kind of keep things, even though things are kind of hard to kind of coordinate a little bit right now, we still try to keep some sort of flow going. Especially like I'll be in the other side of the country because I'm traveling for work, and I'll be in the shower and be like, I have an idea, and then just voice memo it and be like, what do you guys think? Like, take a listen. So there's ways around it that we're working around, our tight schedules, but the whole point is just to keep it consistent, something consistent. When things go silent, that's when things get a little worrisome because, people start forgetting, like, I haven't heard from Morgan, I haven't heard from Anna, I haven't heard from Justin. Are we all still on the same page? Do we still want to continue making music?
Are we a band, dude?
Yeah, are we a band? So I'm like happy that we keep this consistent thing because it seems like lately, like I don't know how familiar you are with the scene, Jeff. It feels like a lot of bands are just like lately.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, that's a shame. I like them.
It's getting kind of hard to like find bands. Like before we used to make our own lineups a lot, and now we're kind of just like joining other lineups. But like I think we tried to do a lineup recently and we're like, oh, what about that band? Oh, well, they're not playing anymore. What about that band? It's just like, dang it, what happened?
What's going on?
Oh, that's rough. Well, I can tell you, just doing these podcasts, vast majority of them, a lot of them took a hit for COVID.
Yeah.
I think the COVID really just messed a lot of bands up.
I felt like for us, it was the opposite. Like we had so much fun during COVID. We were coming up with some really weird stuff and kind of like focusing on it. I know we were being safe with each other, but I think I was excited. 2020 was actually a good year, in my opinion, just because we started learning how to do live streams and started doing these things.
We just had so much free time.
Yeah. And we worked on a lot of different covers. It helped us a lot musically. Like, I guess take it as you can, right? We saw a hurdle. We're like, what do we do with this hurdle? We can't play live anymore. And we're like, you know what? Let's do a stream. I think that stream's on YouTube, and that was in my garage.
With Dead Radio.
Yeah, and that was fun to set up. Justin came the day before. We set up curtains, pretended to play, had cameras everywhere. We didn't really feel like we got hurt from COVID, in my opinion. I don't know about you guys.
No.
It was a fun year.
It was just like a creative year.
Yeah, it was a creative year. Very fun year.
Good kind of rejuvenation, because when you're playing every weekend or multiple times a week, you can possibly get complacent in your abilities and sort of just kind of go with the flow and not really push yourself or try some new stuff. Whereas COVID, we just got to do whatever we wanted and completely mess around and see what we can do with all this free time.
And hoard toilet paper.
And collab with other friends that are musicians.
Yeah, that was fun. A lot of Chick-fil-A and a lot of Taco Bell. I know that.
A lot of Taco Bell.
Yeah.
A lot of Taco Bell getting our order wrong.
Morgan is like double D Sapphire Platinum on Chick-fil-A app or something like that now. Just from COVID.
You're going to be on those commercials now?
Yeah, I am the cow. When you see the commercials with the cow, that's me.
What? I'm Morgan Waterman, and I love the chicken sandwich because it makes me think of COVID or something, right?
I'm Morgan Waterman.
Moog.
I'm Moog.
Oh, that's awesome. Well,
Insert cowbell joke.
Where's my cowbell? That's pretty good. Yeah, a lot of people took a hit during COVID, but it sounds like you guys came out a little bit stronger than you went in. That's good.
It was good. It feels good. I think it gave us a lot of confidence coming out again. Like we didn't feel like. I remember we were asking some bands like, "Hey, shows are happening again. Are you guys down to play with us? We have a show lined up, and we're looking for a band." They're like, "Oh, we're not ready. We have not practiced in several months, so no, we can't. I'm sorry." I was like, "Oh, lame." Well, we're
Lame.
ready. Let's go.
Yeah. Exactly.
Later.
We don't gotta get ready. We stay ready.
We stay ready.
Stay warm.
So, do you guys have, when you guys setting up your lineups or shows, do you guys have certain styles that you usually of bands that you try to play with? Usually try and stick in the genre, or anything like that, or just whoever? Hey, you guys got an opening, and it's a good show, and it's worth it. Would you we'll go play?
Well, in the beginning, we didn't really know that many bands because we were a cover band before Carlos joined. So we just kind of did like for hire gigs, like parties or like the Festival of Lights or like little school festivals, things that they just want to hear covers. So when Carlos came in, we started doing lineups with other bands. So we kind of just hit up a bunch of random bands we found on Instagram, and then we kind of just were more drawn to the ones that we vibed with, because like you'll meet a lot of bands and they'll be kind of standoffish and they'll be like judging your pedal board. And I'm like, I don't want to invite them back.
Yeah.
Or like they show up super late and like, yeah.
You got to keep that etiquette. There's manners and everything. And, it's like, hey, you were supposed to come 30 minutes ago and you still want to play 4 more songs?
Yeah.
Sorry. And the worst part is that these type of bands don't even apologize or something, like,
yeah, they kind of just think they're all that, and they don't really want to be friendly. We're not really about that. We just want to like vibe with everybody and support each other. So
we just want to forget about work.
Yeah, so the bands that are kind of like that, like Dead Radio, they're probably our like best friend band.
Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah, but there's different bands. Like we'll play with like Olympus Mons, and they're more, what would you say? Like
they're like a psychedelic band. They remind me like Pink Floyd.
Yeah. And some, kind of like a different vibe. And that contrasts with a lot of our songs too. It's like, more mellow when we're going hard and sweaty. So it's honestly, it's just a matter of like how you, I guess, compose yourself. Like if you're a friend and you're just here for the music, then yeah, come on down. Like we don't care,
And I feel like a bunch of genres is fun because the listener doesn't really get bored. There's something for everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Like we're more of a classic rock band, and then we'll have Dead Radio where they're kind of like a pop punk band, and then we'll have Reasons Above All in the mix, and they're kind of like a metal band, or like Olympus Mons, a psychedelic band, just different, but all still like good musicians.
Different vibes, but all have bops and good energy.
Or like another strategy is when we're trying to go and play at a place where maybe we're not the main attention or the main point of that location. It's good to have all of these different genres because it's like a shotgun. Like hopefully one person will like one thing from one band and just like keep people there. Mm-hmm. Like if you like a fear might be if you have a complete lineup of metal bands, that's awesome and great. But if people don't like metal bands or something, it's hard to keep them there. It's hard to ensure that they have a fun time.
And then everything kind of starts sounding the same, so people won't like stay till the end.
It's like creating like a set list, you know what I mean? But with bands, because we'll hear things at DBA. I don't know if you guys heard that. Like I'll be by the sound guy and you'll hear like, hey, I want to wait for the next band. When you hear someone say, I want to hear for the next band, their music sounds like this. Like that's cool because they're excited. They're willing to wait to hear this band play punk. They're willing this band to play metal, or more like a southern like rock type blues, like our friend Cold Cut, right? Things like that, where it's just like it's exciting to hear people like are willing to wait for something like that, like a different band, a different taste, or they're excited like, oh, this band, I kind of want to see how they sound live. Like, I'm interested. It's like if you were to play like you're saying on a metal song, like a whole metal set list, people might be like, I'm not into metal, right? So it's like there's a little bit of strategy when we talk to other bands, but then it's also availability. If they can't be in the first slot, okay, then it's all right. But we do put a lot of effort in how we think of things, and we kind of put together a good show when we're in charge of the lineup.
Yeah.
It just brings up so many memories. But one, we were going to play a show. We were kind of I mean, this was early 2000s, late 90s. Just a hard rock, kind of like Deftones type of band. Anyway, the bands were there before us. I don't remember other than they're real cheesy and stupid. So we're starting to see people leave, and we're still like a band away. So with some of the songs we like to cover was Rage Against the Machine, a lot of that harder stuff. So we go like, hey, dude, hey, don't leave, man. We'll start rocking the house once we get up there. So I'm trying to talk them into, hey, let's come on, let's just not leave. You know, these guys suck. These guys, we're cooler. Well, with the band, we picked up a keyboard player, which no offense to keyboard players, but it went downhill after that. So they started making softer songs to go towards, just to involve him because he had the PA basically.
Oh,
I'm telling all these dudes, I'm like, yeah, we're going to cover some Rage Against the Machine. We're going to do some Deftones, man. We're going to get this place rocking. We got some hard rock songs like that too. And we get up, we start playing. I'm not even thinking. They're like, yeah, we're going to start playing our softer songs. I'm like, son of a bitch. I told all these dudes to stay for cool stuff, and then we went cheesy.
yeah, that's one of the things that we've learned is that we think about like, okay, how do we present ourselves in the beginning, right? We got 25 minutes, 30 minutes. What works and what doesn't? And we noticed that a lot of more faster pace, maybe the heartbeat PM goes up, right? So now it's trying to match this tempo where it's just high energy, and then they feed off of that. So we like to do a thing called the cover sandwich, where and I you can hear other like music marketing Instagram accounts kind of talk about this concept where we realize we're a bunch of nobodies, right? We're just the Flying Cruisers. We're known famous, all right? If you know us, cool, awesome, you're our friend. But other than that, we're not like a household name or anything, right? No one's gonna come for the Flying Cruisers, right? So what we do is like, okay, people are gonna walk away, maybe go to a different bar. This is like in downtown Pomona where people hop all the time. So like, what will attract people and have them stay? So we think, okay, if they hear a cover they might know, might like, they're going to be like, oh, okay. It's like a topic sentence of a paragraph, right? It's like, okay, we're going to play. I'm trying to think of a song that we started pretty strong with.
Sometimes like Immigrant Song.
Yeah, like Immigrant Song, Led Zeppelin, right? Just hearing Morgan's, right? And then Justin doing the riff. And then you just hear Anna go, like just echoing down the street from far away, right? People are like, what, playing Zeppelin? Or I know that song from Shrek. Was it Shrek 3?
Yeah, Shrek
Yeah.
or something.
I know that song from Shrek 3 or wherever or the Thor or, Ragnarok. That's Thor's theme.
Yeah.
All right. We do it on purpose because then people are like, heck yeah. And then we're like, oh, this is us. This is what we like. And honestly, Zeppelin is what influences a lot. So
Yep.
Yeah.
we're not playing a song just because you like it. We all love Zeppelin. And so that's an introduction. Ta-da, look, we did Immigrant Song. Okay, now here's an original. Here's an original. We maybe throw a cover in the middle now. And then at the end, we'll either probably like go like one of our songs and then immediately into Killing in the Name of or something like that. Just to go hard and finish hard.
Or
So
Chop Suey.
yeah, because you ever heard that like the whole thing when you talk to somebody like they only really remember maybe like the last part of something you do or something you
Like
say
the recency
or
bias.
the beginning, right? The beginning's to hook them in, stay, and then at the end, if you stay long enough, then you're gonna get a treat, And so they're gonna remember the feeling of us like killing in the name of when we're just Anna's yelling, I'm on my amp playing the bass with my teeth. Morgan's just going ham and he's just going with his little pedal going. Just going crazy, right? And people were just like, oh my goodness. And they walk out like, oh, I felt good from that band, right? They probably don't remember any of our originals, but as long as they walk away good, then we did our job. And especially hearing the F yeah, heck yeah, oh my goodness, that's it. I'm all sweaty, I'm tired, but that makes me so happy just to hear that.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're a band. Bands are entertainers. And I mean, if you're not entertaining and having a good show, yeah, well, there's no point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Half of the experience is the visuals. So if you're not putting on that visual entertainment, then like it'll be dull just relying on the music.
I like to take high amounts of caffeine right before I play.
He drinks pre-workout before the show.
Yeah.
Shotgun a bang real quick.
If I can get sponsored by Rain or Bang or Doper Rush, please.
Hit me
Fucked up.
Hit me up.
Actually, we were at one show one time and they had like a bang booth,
Mhm.
and we kept being like, "Yo, shout out to Bang! I'm drinking one right now." And then they gave us like 2 cases after, and I was like, "Damn, for sponsorship."
I know, right? We should
The homies.
we got there were just like festival like advertisers that were just like I don't want to take this back, so here you guys. I'm pretty sure it was just like here you guys go.
That's okay.
That's-
We gave them
okay.
the shout out.
I felt
We had product placement.
I took them all home and I drank them about in a week.
Oh
That's
my
a lot
God.
of caffeine.
That's hard on your kidneys and your gut. Oh my goodness.
All that creatine.
It shortly went into cardiac arrest.
Yeah, I'm not even alive right now.
He's on dialysis.
Yeah, I'm like Jason Straight, what's his name, on crank, but with just bangs. I just drink bangs to survive and keep my heart rate going, just to keep it normal.
That's what you call rock and roll right there.
Yeah,
Baby.
and bad health.
Who needs health?
Yeah, overrated.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me tonight. Where can people find all your music and what all you guys are up to? Because I know you have, I think, the link tree, is it?
We have
Yeah.
the link tree, which I believe is in our Instagram bio, which is the first way or of many ways you can find us. Go to Instagram, where you'll see what we're up to, what our next gigs are, when we're dropping new music. Find us on Spotify, all the streaming services, we're on there. We have a YouTube. We're hoping to kind of revamp that soon. It's a little quiet at the moment, but Instagram and Spotify and Apple Music and
Everything.
Google.
At the Flying Cruisers.
Music and
The flying, yeah, I have a website that I haven't updated in a while. But you can find it.
theflyingcruisers.com.
The older generation loves the website.
Yep, we
Facebook.
technically have merch too.
Yeah,
We sell those at shows. Sometimes we give them away, so you better go to a show. We also have merch online if you want a T-shirt or a hat or something like that.
yeah, and you can just straight Google the Flying Cruisers, and then I believe we're still the top link if you look for us.
Nice. Well, that's totally awesome. Well, good luck with all your recordings and your shows and all that. Sounds like it'll be fun. We'll be waiting in anticipation of your next coming release next week.
Thank you.
Thank you so
you.
much,
Yeah,
Jeff.
thanks.
Thanks.
All right, you guys have a good night.
All right.
You
Thanks.
too. Thank
Night.
you.
You too, man. Take care.
He's so sweet, he can make me laugh. Music is his mastercraft. Makes me feel like I'm one of a kind. 'Cause to other girls